Welcome to another episode of the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant. This is Kev. Thank you guys for tuning in once again, or this is maybe your first time checking out our show. Thank you for coming to join us.
Appreciate
join the Movie
you.
Brothers. Yes, we do.
Show appreciate you.
Very much. And get into this thing. So let me let me clear my throat. Have some little poetry to recite. It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. It's a hard knock life.
Okay.
From-
Okay. For one thing, you sound like William Shatner. Okay. You sound like Captain Kirk reciting this. Okay. Let's just move on to the review.
All right, let's go ahead and do. See, some people can't appreciate good literature, but that's okay. From what I shared with you, you should be able to figure out we are reviewing the film Annie for you today. This film is rated PG, has a runtime of 1 hour and 58 minutes. This is a family comedy that we have on our hands, y'all. In this film, a foster kid's life changes overnight when a chance encounter with a business tycoon allows her to literally go from rags to riches.
Okay. This film was directed by Will Gluck, who brought us the movie Friends with Benefits, starring Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. This film stars Quvenzhané Wallis.
Good job.
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. Jamie Foxx, Cameron Diaz, Rose Byrne, Bobby Cannavale, and
Adewale Ekano Adebisi from Oz. Okay.
because basically we were gonna butcher your name one
Yeah, I'm
way or the
sorry,
other. We
bro.
apologize
Yes.
for that. Adwele Akinoye Agbaje. How about that?
That sounds pretty good.
All right.
We tried. We tried. So hey man, let's get into this thing, Kev.
Let's do it.
This is it. So hey, in this film, you know, this is a remake of the 1982 Annie that came out back in the day. Quvenzhané is playing Annie, of course, and she is a foster kid who runs into this multi-billionaire who's running for mayor of New York City. And he comes up, him along with his political advisor, come up with this crazy harebrained political scheme to basically bring her in to raise his points in the polls. And things just go kind of crazy from there. I got to tell you guys, from my perspective, from me, I walked out of this film very inspired. A little bit of disclosure, musicals are probably my least favorite genre of film. I mean, straight up. But I was pleasantly surprised in this film, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay, and I couldn't disagree with you more, Anthony.
Oh, I'm Anthony. You notice when Cam disagree with me, I go from Ant to Anthony, but please continue.
I'm
sir.
sorry, Ant. I couldn't disagree with you more. I love a good musical. I really do. It's a lost art form, but Singing in the Rain, Easter Parade, with The Wiz, even Dreamgirls, this is not,
gosh.
okay? This ain't that, all right? It is not on the level of any of those films. The thing that was very interesting about Annie back in the day, even dating all the way back to 1938 in its first incarnation, is that it really dwelled and took a lot of its references and cues from the political era in which it was made. And this film, I think, really kind of drops the ball on that and comes across as just pure fluff, okay? And it doesn't maintain the political integrity that it once did, especially in the 1930 comics or in the radio broadcasts.
Here you go, Kev. First of all, maybe you were alive in the 30s, but I wasn't born yet. I was still in heaven, hanging with Jesus, and But first of all, I'm glad this film is not Singing in the Rain. Neither myself or my 12-year-old daughter are familiar or have read the 1930s comic strip, so that doesn't really matter. And she's the one. It's the kids who this film is targeting. Again, I thought this film was really, really good. And one thing in particular, I tell you, that really stands out for me in this film is, we live in a time when, a lot of kids' movies or TV shows or whatever. I mean, adults are really non-existent.
I'll give you that.
You
The adults are really morons.
Yeah, they're clowns. The kids don't respect them, so the kids are disrespectful. They don't respect adult authority.
Right.
And what better film to you, a platform to use to do that same kind of crap? But Annie doesn't do that. The kids in this film, in particular Annie, is very respectful throughout the film. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. No, thank you. Whatever. And I tell you, being a parent in 2014, I could really, really appreciate that. And what this film is creating is a situation where, a lot of families are going to be going to see this movie. And so for these our young people to see this and see how they should carry themselves was a breath of fresh air.
And I don't disagree with you on that front. I want to see our children actually being children. And I think that in the era that we are living in right now, it's very difficult for them to actually have that ability to be kids. But I'm just saying that as far as a musical is concerned, this movie, okay, I prefer seeing the singing and choreography of Gene Kelly or Fred Astaire to the half-ass dancing of everybody in this film. Okay. Yes. And the auto-tuned lip sync quality of all of the singing and performances in this film, which brings us to an interesting point, though. Okay, do we or should we judge this film based on the criteria that we judge everything else that we watch? Okay, narration or the narrative, the direction, cinematography, all of those things. Or should we just basically call it what it is and say, okay, we'll put this film in the category of just, a kid-friendly flick that will get the kids out of your hair for a little while, and that they can watch and be diverted and, soothed while they are waiting for Santa Claus to show up? I mean, how should we look at this?
Now, see, I take offense to that, Kev, because I feel like even with you asking that question, it's almost like you're implying that I am giving this film a pass. Like, I'm enjoying this. I'm saying this film is great because it's a family comedy. Yeah, the criteria of the acting, the narrative, the direction, the cinematography of the film, no, those things don't change. I mean, those are core components of what makes a movie a movie.
Okay, so
I enjoy that stuff.
Then you know how I do then.
No, I do know how you do.
Then you know how I watch these movies, and I cannot give it a pass just because it made you feel some kind of way. I'm sorry. I have to look at it and judge it, based on the criteria that I would any other film.
I'm using the same criteria that you're using.
Okay, well, let's just move on.
And so we just saw it a different kind of way. Now, what I will say, I will give you this. Probably the only thing I agree with you about the freaking film is, the choreography is suspect. I mean, probably almost non-existent. Now, Now, I enjoyed the singing. The singing was really good. And as a matter of fact, Quavisionne should open up the Oscars, man, with an Annie number. And I'm saying it right here. You know what? You got to give me credit too. If we see her open up or do a performance on the Oscars, you got to give me credit for that, man, because I said it here first. Okay. Anyway, you throw marinate on that. Let me keep going. I thought the acting was great in the film for the most part. In particular, Jamie Foxx and Quavisionne have great chemistry. Jamie Foxx was very funny. It was very natural. Nothing was forced with him. I was cool with that. And little Miss Q, she's a superstar, man. What else can I say? She's just, some people have it and some people don't. Right. You got the juice, so she has the juice. That's just what it is. So when those two come together, you got some magic going on, and I saw that. On the screen, and I could appreciate that. Now, what almost derailed the whole show was Cameron Diaz, with the way the film opened up with her. There's a lot of overacting going on, and I was like, no, I think she recovered overall, but a little suspect there too.
Okay. I will agree with you on one thing. I feel like Jamie Foxx and Quavisionne Wallace have great chemistry together. Matter of fact, the scenes with them that focus on them, that put them in the forefront, that's where this film is at its best. you're right. Everybody else pretty much choose scenery like so much roughage, you know, and that's
Oh,
not a good
man.
thing. Cameron Diaz is trying her best, okay, to I don't know out Carol Burnett. Carol Burnett, who played Mrs. Hannigan in the 1982 version, and fails miserably. And I like Cameron Diaz in most things that she's in, but she's miscast here, and it doesn't really work. Um, but you know, Quavision Wallace, she's got a bright future in front of
Yeah.
her. She is a great talent. We already know what Jamie Foxx can do, and everybody else, you know, does their best. They are game for it,
Hmm.
but it just doesn't all congeal the way that
Yeah.
you know I would like for it to.
Yeah, great message in this film. You know, on top of the humor that you got going on, without being too preachy with it too. I mean, they hit on some things like education, family, community, things like that. So that was something else that I could very much appreciate with this film. Um, hey, man, this was a win for me. Kev, what?
At its best, Annie has always represented the things that you just talked about, that you just mentioned. But I think that in 2014, I think Annie probably needs a fresh coat of imagination painted on it.
So that was a
Um,
backhanded.
No, there's nothing backhanded about it. I'm just saying we live in a different era, and I think that Annie should probably grow with that. I think there are a lot of social issues, lots of reform, lots of things that really would play into this comedy or this musical in a way that you know it neglected to do this time around. So that's just my
All
my
right,
2 cents, and I'm
Professor.
just gonna leave it at that.
All right.
Leave it at that. You want to put some points on this?
Let's put some points on this thing, man.
All
So,
right.
hey, y'all, look, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. For those of you that have not seen our review of the Lego Movie, which is the other kids movie that we've done, I do my scoring of kids movies a little bit differently, whereas I factor in my 12-year-old daughter's score because I think the makings of a great kids film, the adults and the kids enjoy it. But for me, this film gets a 9. My daughter gave it a 10. I averaged a 2 and rounded. You got a 10 on your hands. Take your family, take your kids, nieces, nephews, and everybody. Go check this out. You'll enjoy it.
Okay. My daughter is actually in a theater right now watching it with her mom. I have no idea what she's going to score it, so I'm not going to worry
Probably
about
better than your score, Kev. Let's
I'm
just
not gonna
agree
worry
on
about
that.
it.
Probably
All right.
better than yours.
Well, let me just get down to the nitty gritty. Those looking for the rebirth of the modern day musical might be disappointed because this doesn't do that at all. Okay, this is a poor representation, I think, of what a musical should be about. Although it does have some good elements to it, I think it's really kind of middle of the road. I give this movie a 5 out of 10.
Oh, Kev. And during the holidays, too.
Well, I mean, I think it's a good holiday movie. I think, you know, if you need something to distract your kids with, you know, while you're off shopping or doing something else, take them to see Annie.
So drop your kids off at the movies, whatever. That's a good,
Take them to see Annie, you know. But if you were looking for something more out of it, then I'm sorry, this is not where you're gonna find
All
it.
right, Kev. All right, man. Well, hey, I almost don't want to give it to you now, but I went ahead. I
That
bought
hurts
it.
your feelings.
Yeah, man, it kind of hurt me a little bit, but hey, Kev, you know, I saved up all year, man, and I got you a little something. I want to tell you Merry Christmas,
Oh,
man,
Aunt,
and
you shouldn't
appreciate
have.
you
You
doing
shouldn't have.
being a good movie.
'Cause, you
well,
know,
sometimes being a good movie, brother.
When I agree with you, huh?
Yeah, right, exactly. Go and open it up, man.
All right, let me go on and get into this. Oh, Aunt, you shouldn't have.
Yo, I should have.
Well, you know I loves me some Milk Duds with my popcorn. So
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. I think I know why you like Milk Duds too so much.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Hey man, but enjoy your Milk Duds with
I
your
will.
popcorn, brother.
I will,
Hey,
absolutely.
no joke. I love you, man. This is I have a blast every time we do this show, and you guys keep tuning in. Thank you so much. As always, be sure to like us on Facebook.
or follow us. I still can't believe you said that. Or follow us on Twitter at the Movie Brothers.
We are the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant. This is Kev. This is the place, the one and only place where we bring you nothing but the real on the real. Peace.